Hey guys, I'm back with another reading update. This is for the Southern Charm Readathon. The first clip was the first book I read, and that was for the Mystery Suspense prompt. And this is hosted by book lover Amanda, and this is honestly so much fun. I'm currently reading the one for, I think, Bless Your Heart, which is the emotional and heartwarming, which I'm reading Dangerous Beauty by Melissa Coughlin. And then after that, I'm doing the book I think will be a comfort read, and that book is The Shifting Current by Danny Petrie. So those are currently the books I am planning on reading for the readathon. I'm also going to do another vlog during the readathon, but this will come out at the end of the month, and this is just the books I read during Amanda's Southern Charm readathon. So yeah, that's the update for now. Hey guys, this is just ending the vlog part of this video. I've decided to extend it to also the wrap up, but I just wanted to let you know for the vlog that I finished the Legendary Inge, however you say it. I finished this book and I gave it 5 stars. I think it was like 4.5 maybe. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. It was such a great book and I do highly recommend it. It is a clean fantasy and it was super fun to read. And then I also read Waterfall, which I'll put on the screen, by Lisa T. Bergen. I really enjoyed this book. I think I gave it like 4 stars. Luca is my favorite character, but I'm super excited to continue on with this series. I don't know when I will, but I'll probably continue reading it as ebooks. But if you want like a dual timeline or like kind of like going back in time in historical Italy, I think it's super interesting and super fun read. The faith content kind of grew throughout the book, so I do highly recommend it if you've never read it. It's such an interesting read, and I feel like it's kind of like just good Christian fiction. So I highly recommend it, and here is the official wrap up. Hey guys, welcome back to Rachel Reads. My name is Rachel. I also read and write Christian fiction, and today I'm doing the Southern Charm Readathon wrap up hosted by Amanda and a bunch of other people. I will put the picture right here for a little bit just so you can see all the host and all the prompts. I'm going to go over all the books I read, and I'm not going in order of when I read them. I'm just going in order of how the prompts are laid out. So let's go ahead and get started. Prompt number 1 is Bless Your Heart. It is an emotional, heartwarming book. I picked Dangerous Beauty, and I gave this book 5 stars. I love this book so much. There was so much good faith content, and it was just enough romance, and there was a lot of like mystery and suspense going around it. And I know a few other girls have been trying to get to this book or reading it, and I do highly recommend it. It is such a good book. I love the faith content and all the healing that goes on. So that's what I read for Bless Your Heart. Prompt number 2 is Sweet Tea, which is a sweet story or something sweet on the cover, and for that I chose Husband Auditions by Angela Ruth Strong. I chose this as a sweet story, and it absolutely was. I think I gave this book like 4.5 stars. I absolutely enjoyed this book. It was such a fun read and super interesting. It's such a good concept that I really did enjoy it. And there's a good amount of faith content, and the characters went through a lot of growth. So as an author, I love seeing that. But this is just a great book, and I do recommend if you haven't read it yet. I know a lot of the people on BookTube have, but if you haven't yet, I do recommend picking it up and trying it out. Next prompt is Hottest Blue Blazings, and that is a book with the hot setting, and for that I chose Love and the Little White Lie by Chamiel Gray, because this book is set in Texas. I gave this book 3.5 stars, and it was fine. It was a good read. I just didn't like there was a good amount of faith content. I wish something in the character development had happened a lot earlier, or more would have been expounded on. There's nothing wrong with this book. It just, me and it just didn't get along, and a lot of other people like this, and I did enjoy reading it. There's nothing wrong with it. Just, maybe it's the writing, I don't know. It just didn't get along with me. But there's nothing wrong with this book. If you haven't read it, I do recommend picking it up and trying it. So, yeah. This one is Heavens to Betsy, and that is a mystery suspense that will shock you. And I chose Body of Evidence by Irene Hannon. I think I gave this book 4 stars, and it was good. I think I guessed how it was going to end, or I kind of figured out how it was going to end, but there was still like a lot of like mystery and suspense around it. So if you haven't read this trilogy, I do recommend it. I know it has mixed reviews, but I think the third book or the first book is probably the best. So there's that. Next prompt is Free Space, thanks to good old Southern hospitality. And for that, I chose the legendary Inge. I don't know how it's pronounced. It's this book right here. I gave this book 5 stars, or 4.5. I don't actually remember. I really enjoyed this book though. It's on my Goodreads, and I'll make sure to put my Goodreads in the description. I really enjoyed this book though. It's kind of a retelling of Beowulf, which I've never read, and the concept of it, and I really enjoyed it. It was such an interesting concept and an interesting book, and I love seeing the characters and all the growth. It's not like a Christian book. It's self-published, but like there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's a very clean book, and it's fantasy with like a little bit of magic, but not really. I do recommend it though. It's a very interesting concept, and I loved it, so that's what I chose for my Free Space. Also, this cover is absolutely ugly. There is a better cover. I'll put it on the screen, quite possibly. This cover is stunning. This cover is trash. If I ever buy this book, I will make sure I get the other cover, because this is just not, this is ugly. I'm sorry. Next prompt is All the Fixins, and that is a book in multiple genres. For that, I chose Waterfall by Lisa T. Bergren. This is like, it's time travel, so it's historical, a little bit of contemporary, there's a little bit of romance, and it's obviously Christian. So that's what I chose for that. I think I gave this book like 4 stars or 4.5. It was really good, and I enjoyed it. It's such an interesting concept, and I kind of love seeing the medieval time period. One of the characters, Luca, if you know Luca, he is my absolute favorite. I love him so much, and I probably, whenever I get to book 2, it will be because of him. He was my favorite character in the whole book. So 4.5 stars. If you haven't read it, I do recommend trying it. It's pretty good. Next prompt is Chicken and Dumplings, and that is a book you will think will be a comfort read, and for that I chose The Shifting Current by Danny Petrie, and I love this book so much. I love these characters so much. This was my second favorite like set of characters in the whole series. If you've never read Danny Petrie's, I have no clue, Coastal Guardian series, highly recommend. Second book's my favorite, which I mentioned in a previous video, but this is probably my second favorite. So I really enjoyed it, even though it's just not a novella. It's really good, and it definitely is a comfort read, so highly recommend, highly recommend. The next prompt is Hey Y'all, and that's a book with more than one POV, and for that I chose Engaging Deception by Regina Jennings. I gave this book 4 stars, I think, 3.5, 4 stars. It was good. It did have more than one POV, and it was interesting. I enjoyed it. There's nothing wrong with it. Some parts felt faster moving, and some of it felt very redundant. It was an interesting book though, so 3.5 stars, and it had more than one POV, so it works. And the last prompt is Howdy Partner, and that is a book with friendship or family, and for that I chose Stay With Me by Becky Wade. And if you know, you know, there's a lot of like good friendship in this book. There's a lot of family and family growth. It was just so good, and there was a lot of faith content and healing, and I love Sam and Jen so much. This is just such a good book. If you've never read Becky Wade, I highly recommend this book. This is probably my favorite book by her, so if you've never read it, highly recommend Stay With Me. And it worked for the prompt. So yeah, that is all for today's video. Thank you so much to Amanda for hosting this challenge. I absolutely love this so much, and thank you to all the other hosts that were doing this. I'll put a picture once again of all the prompts so you can see all the hosts that were there. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I'll see you next time. Bye.